This isn't about becoming a minimalist monk who owns one spoon and whispers motivational quotes at sunrise. It's about small, almost boring, daily habits rooted in Japanese culture that quietly rewire how you think, work, and exist. Tiny behaviors, huge psychological impact. The kind of stuff that doesn't look impressive on Instagram, but slowly turns you into a functioning human. Let's get right into it. Number 8. Kaizen mindset. Imagine trying to improve your life by 1% instead of 100%. Disappointing. Boring. Exactly. That's why it works. The Japanese concept of Kaizen, meaning continuous improvement, isn't about dramatic glow-ups. It's about tiny consistent upgrades. One push-up today, one page read, one drawer cleaned. That's it. Your brain hates massive change. It sees total life transformation and immediately files it under absolutely not. But 1% improvement that feels harmless, non-threatening, almost laughably small. So your resistance stays quiet. Here's the trick. Small wins create momentum. Momentum builds identity. Identity shapes behavior. If you read one page a day, you slowly start thinking, I'm someone who reads. That subtle shift is powerful. You don't force discipline. You become the kind of person who does the thing. And unlike motivation, which disappears faster than your New Year's resolutions, tiny habits compound. 1% daily improvement doesn't look impressive until 6 months later when you realize you're operating on a completely different level. Kaizen isn't flashy, it's patient. It's the psychological equivalent of quietly upgrading your operating system while everyone else is reinstalling theirs from scratch. Basically, slow and steady doesn't just win the race, it makes the race irrelevant. Number 7. Hara Hachi Bu. Picture this: you're eating. It's delicious. You could continue. You want to continue, but you stop at 80% full. That's the Okinawan habit called Hara Hachi Bu. Eat until you're about 80% satisfied. Not stuffed. Not uncomfortable. Just enough. Your brain and stomach have a communication delay. It takes about 20 minutes for your fullness signals to register, which means if you eat until you feel full, you've probably overshot the landing. Stopping at 80% forces mindfulness. It asks you to pay attention to subtle cues, instead of bulldozing your plate like it insulted you. And psychologically, it builds restraint without deprivation. You're not banning food. You're just respecting your body's processing time. This habit does something deeper than portion control. It trains moderation. It teaches your brain that satisfaction doesn't require excess. That almost full is often better than, why did I do this to myself? In a world that constantly whispers more, this habit gently says enough. And honestly, enough is wildly underrated. Number 6. Ikigai clarity. Some people wake up, check their phone, and immediately feel behind in life. Others wake up with a quiet sense of direction. The difference? Often clarity. Ikigai loosely translates to reason for being. It's the overlap between what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be rewarded for. Sounds dramatic. It's actually practical without direction. Your brain defaults to distraction. It chases novelty because it doesn't know what else to chase. But when you have even a rough sense of purpose, your decisions filter themselves. You say yes to what aligns. You say no to what trains. Here's the psychology. Humans handle stress better when it feels meaningful. Studies on purpose show that people with a clear why tolerate discomfort more easily. Your brain will end your effort if it understands the point. Ikigai doesn't mean you discover one magical career and float through life glowing. It means you consciously reflect on what feels worth waking up for and adjust accordingly. Even writing down 3 things that feel meaningful shifts your focus. It moves you from reactive mode to intentional mode. Purpose doesn't remove chaos. It organizes it without it. You're drifting in open water. With it, you at least have a paddle. Number 5. Osoji reset at the end of each year. In Japan, many households practice osoji, a deep, intentional cleaning, not just tidying. Resetting. Now imagine applying that idea to your life. Monthly or weekly, your brain mirrors your environment. Clutter isn't just visual noise, it's cognitive load. Every pile of unfinished business whispers, "Hey, don't forget about me." Multiply that by 47 objects, and suddenly, your stress feels mysterious and untraceable. Cleaning becomes psychological closure. You're not just wiping surfaces, you're signaling completion. Your brain relaxes when loops are closed. That's why crossing something off a list feels satisfying. Dopamine rewards progress. OSIG turns maintenance into ritual. It forces reflection. What do I keep? What do I release? What's useful? What's dead weight? And here's the deeper magic. When you clear physical space, you often clear mental space. Decisions become easier. Focus improves. Mood stabilizes. It's not about perfection. It's about reset. Think of it as giving your brain a fresh desktop, instead of 94 open tabs. Screaming for attention, because sometimes the life upgrade you need isn't motivation. It's a broom. Number 4. Shinrin Yoku Therapy. Imagine standing in a forest. No podcasts. No notifications. Just trees doing tree things. That's not laziness, that's medicine. Shinrin Yoku really means forest bathing. And no, you don't need a towel. It's the practice of intentionally spending time in nature, not hiking aggressively, not speed walking with the smartwatch, just existing among trees. Your nervous system is not built for constant, concrete screens and artificial noise. When you're surrounded by natural patterns, uneven shapes, organic sounds, slow movement, your brain shifts into parasympathetic mode. That's the calm repair. We are not being hunted. Setting studies show time in nature lowers cortisol, improves mood, and restores attention. But you don't need science to feel it. You already know. That deep exhale when you step into greenery, that's your brain loosening its grip. The key is intentionality, not scrolling while outdoors, not rushing through it. Let your senses idle. Let boredom show up. That's where the reset happens. Shinrin Yoku isn't about escaping life. It's about reminding your nervous system what safety feels like. Basically, trees are unpaid therapists. Number 3. Zanshin Awareness. Zanshin is the art of sustained awareness. It means staying mentally present, even after an action is complete. Not rushing ahead, not mentally abandoning the moment. In daily life, this looks small. Finishing a task before opening another tab. Walking without checking your phone. Listening without planning your reply. Your brain loves multitasking because it feels productive, but cognitively it's chaos. Every switch costs mental energy. Zanshin reduces that constant context switching by anchoring attention where your body already is. This habit trains focus gently, not with force, with patience. You become less reactive, more deliberate. You notice things. You slow down just enough to regain control. And here's the twist: presence feels boring at first. Your brain is used to stimulation, but boredom is the doorway to depth. Zanshin isn't about being calm all the time. It's about being here all the time, which is rarer than it should be. Number 2. Martin I thinking. Ever thrown something away and immediately felt weird about it? Not guilty, not sad, just off. That feeling has a name: motanai. Motanai roughly translates to water waste, but it's deeper than trash management. It's an awareness of value, time, objects, effort, energy. And once you adopt it, your brain starts making quieter, smarter decisions. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" you start asking, "Is this worth the resources it will consume?" Not just money, attention, time, emotional energy. Psychologically, this habit reduces impulsive behavior. You pause. You consider consequences. You stop defaulting to excess. And in a culture built on constant upgrades, that pause is radical. Matai doesn't mean deprivation. It means respect. You finish what you start. You use what you own. You don't chase novelty just to fill silence. This mindset slowly trains gratitude. You stop overlooking what already works. You stop replacing things that aren't broken, including parts of yourself. And a wild side effect: less clutter, less regret, less mental noise. When nothing feels disposable, life feels more intentional. Basically, you stop treating your existence like a free trial. Number 1. Wabi acceptance. Imagine embracing things that are imperfect, unfinished, and slightly broken, including you. That's wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi is the appreciation of imperfection and impermanence. Cracks in pottery, weathered wood, asymmetry, aging, realness. It's the opposite of polished, curated perfection. Your brain suffers when it chases flawless. Perfectionism keeps you stuck, because nothing is ever ready. Wabi-sabi loosens that grip. It says progress beats polish, presence beats performance. Psychologically, acceptance reduces anxiety. When you stop fighting reality, your nervous system calms down. You stop seeing flaws as failures and start seeing them as texture. This habit is powerful because it applies everywhere. Your work doesn't need to be perfect to be meaningful. Your life doesn't need to look impressive to be fulfilling. You don't need to fix everything to be worthy. Wabi-sabi frees you from the illusion that happiness arrives once everything is aligned. It teaches you to live inside the mess without apologizing for it. Perfection demands control. Wabi-sabi offers peace, and peace, it turns out, is a much better upgrade. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.